Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to
Welcome.
the Gray Area Podcast.
You're far too kind.
My name is Giuseppe or Joseph, depending on what country you hail from. That's my co-host, Terrance.
Oh, so we're not doing Terry G anymore? Are we?
Terry G. I mean, I'm sorry, Terrance / Terry G. TG13. As I've come to no.
Nah, yeah, we're gonna stick with Terrance.
Yes.
I got what right. You got to make sure you're professional at all times. Is that the saying? You know?
Oh no, man. I mean, listen. People will figure out who we are. I mean, it's not that complicated. You know.
Make sure you're professional at all times.
Yeah, we are. But
right.
My name is my name. What do you want me to do?
My name is my name. What was that? Is that a Denzel Washington line?
My name is my. No idea. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
That sounds like a Denzel. That sounds
like something
Denzel would say, right? That sounds like.
I mean, if not, he could sell it if he hasn't already. All right, so day 314 of the pandemic, Terrance.
Keeping up with this, I like that.
Yeah, man, we're coming up on a year, man. Like 6 weeks will be a year.
Jeez, that's crazy.
You know what's crazy, man? I was watching some old episodes of this, like I don't even know how to describe it, but anyway, it's just like almost like it's kind of like a reality show, but not really. But anyway, I was watching an episode and I was watching like the backlog and I caught up to like March of last year, and it's just so funny how they all are talking about it and like what the pandemic, like what the virus is, what they have to do, and I remember like that's how we were all thinking, like, well, like they're talking about like, oh, well, March Madness, they're talking about maybe not having the games. I was like, well, they can't cancel the games. That's how we all were thinking at the time. Like they can't.
I think that's
sports.
Because my thing was, if it's not real until they shut down schools. That was my thought process. I was like, I don't care. Like as long as they shut schools down.
I think none of us really realized what we were in for. Like, no, I remember like a roommate was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go to my boyfriend's for the week. Me and him just kind of hunker down just till this thing blows over. Like, no idea what the fuck was happening. Like
now they're broken up.
Oh, they broke up during the pandemic.
See, yeah. I knew it. See, that's the thing that's happening.
You either did two things in this pandemic. If you were in a relationship, it seems like one, baby. Two, you broke up. That's like what 90% of the couples.
One of the two things happened, and I was the idiot that was thinking that. Oh no, most people.
And you didn't either.
No, thank God.
There you go. You're one of the few, man. You're one of the few who didn't do either one of those stupid things.
See, I thought a lot of people were like me, but I guess not. I felt like a lot of couples were going to be like leveling up this year, but I guess not.
2020 had so much promise, and it started with COVID.
It really did.
We had a pandemic, and then it ended with one of the most embarrassing presidents we've ever had. And starting a riot. I mean, can you believe that was a year, Terrance? Like all of that. I can name so many more things. Can you believe that was just 1 year?
Joseph, I have to ask you a question about this though, right?
Joseph.
Oh, boy. So I'm saying Joseph for a reason, right? Because
it's important, yeah.
As
Terrance never called me Joseph.
I never do, right? I never do, right?
I've ever heard you say that.
So, as a white guy, how did you react seeing this? Like riot of ton of white people, because it was. I
don't like being grouped in with.
I know. Okay, so maybe I guess that's like it's weird saying it like that, but I can't have this conversation. Yeah, but I can't really have this conversation with anybody else. So like I'm this is a safe place. I can have this conversation with you. So I'm asking you because it was like what. As a black guy, I'm watching, so I'm like, "Oh, these motherfuckers, is crazy."
Terrance, I don't look at that as a white guy thing or like a white person thing. I just think it's a bunch of crazy people. Because we've had
got to distance himself from it.
I mean, but I don't look. I don't look because unfortunately. Trump has supporters of all different fucking colors and creeds and everything. Like, it's sad, especially if you're not white. I don't know how you could possibly support this guy, but
yeah, it's a bit weird, but whatever.
It's bizarre. I just don't get it. But yeah, I don't know the whole thing. Like, I didn't realize how when it happened, I was like, holy shit! Like, they stormed the cat's insane. But then I didn't realize until a few days later, like I didn't realize that they were like, I thought they just like stormed in, like, and it was like a big deal that they actually. I didn't realize they were like literally like dragging people through stairwells and beating people, and like raiding offices. I didn't realize it was that heavy.
It got crazy.
Yeah, it really did. Like I didn't know it was so violent. I thought like I don't know. I just thought they stormed it, and that was the big deal. I didn't know they were like trying to actively hurt people, and people, man, people are funny. How it's funny. It's 2021. People still don't realize how like if you're trying to commit a crime, let's say you're trying to like rob a store, how hard it really is to not get caught because there's just cameras everywhere and a billion people and everyone can see this. People like it's like they forget that. There's a guy.
They didn't forget that at all. But
listen. They broke into Nancy Pelosi's office right now. Just for everyone knows, she is the Speaker of the House. She's the third highest person in this country. Okay, if the president and vice president die, she would become president. That doesn't happen. But that's the pecking order here, Terrance. Mm-hmm. They broke into her office. There's a picture of this guy like outside. He has like a letter, like that was addressed to her or something, like holding it up like for the camera.
Oh yeah, I saw that after he got locked up.
Of course he did, Terrance.
You know what he said?
Why?
You know what he said,
This is
right?
what I mean. Like, but hold on. This is what I mean, Terrance. Like, why? Like, do you think you did that and like you're totally good? No one is ever gonna go, well, we should go after. Like, you don't think it's gonna happen? Like, it's just. Well, I don't know, man.
According to him, he did not steal it. It was on the desk, and he left a quarter for the
right.
The
so
envelope.
That's just like right. That's
like
what
his words.
The dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's what this guy's words were.
Just to clarify, you broke into someone's office, took something off the desk, and put a quarter. So we can do that with anything we want. Then I can go into this guy's house and take his car and go, well, I put a quarter on the driveway.
Look, this is the occasional white people that feel like they deserve everything. I feel like everything has to be. It's theirs. It's theirs. It's mine. It's my country. It's my country. I deserve it.
What?
What?
Do you know what that sounds like though? The quarter thing. That sounds like the ramblings of a madman. Like that sounds like the ramblings of a person who's literally not like with us. Like what does that even like? But all I'm saying is, man, is like it just boggles my mind. Like people like posing. It's like you think like. They can't catch you. Like that's like going and murdering somebody and holding their body to take a picture of it.
Yeah.
And then posting you don't think someone's gonna?
Do you think your tax dollars entitles you to certain things?
Certain expectations, like roads and the thing that's.
The normal.
It depends. Like it depends. Like your federal tax, which is your bigger tax, isn't for roads. It's your state tax. But your federal tax is for just the government to exist,
right?
And for that,
to run and establish. Okay.
I expect that. I expect like we all pay for unemployment in our taxes.
Mm-hmm.
That's why like unemployment is insurance. It's not like it's food stamps. Like if you nothing wrong getting unemployment. Like you paid for it. Like you need to understand. Like you paid for that, and that's where that money comes from. Is you paying for it. If you were to get unemployed, and if you don't, the government keeps it. So there's certain things I think that comes with it, but that's it.
But feeling like the capital, like it's your right because you pay taxes.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
To go inside the capital and do whatever you want.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
Right, exactly.
No sense. Okay. So because you pay taxes, I own the government, Terrance. We all own the government. I love it.
No, and that was their mindset. Their mindset was they were entitled to some type of I already own this because my taxes pay this or whatever the case may be.
Let me ask you a question.
It's idiotic.
Do you think that's actually what they think, or do you think they're just trying to make up an excuse for why they did it? Like, well, I don't know. We pay. Like,
I think that's actually. I think they actually believe that, and I say that. I say that because I went to Kentucky, right, to work the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, God.
I went to Kentucky.
Oh,
Kentucky's a red state, right?
Oh, you think? Do you think?
I went to Kentucky to work the Kentucky Derby, right? So I'm in Kentucky, and I'm overhearing a conversation. Mind you, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I never been to Kentucky a day in my life, right?
That's like, by the way, the understatement of the
right. Who would have a reason to go to Kentucky though? Like that's nobody.
Unless you're specifically going to a bourbon distillery
right.
for whatever reason.
So there's no reason to go. So
especially after you're a black man.
Right, especially not. They put me on a work assignment. Hey, go fly to Kentucky. You got to stay there for a couple of days, work the Kentucky Derby. All right, cool. Let me go to Kentucky. It's a free trip. Why not? Right. Go to Kentucky.
Right.
working the Kentucky Derby, it's the most like privilege I've ever seen from white people, and they're not even like.
Well, no one goes to Kentucky Derby unless like you're rich. Like, it's
Right,
not like
but I've never
people in
I've
Kentucky are
never
going
seen
there.
it to that extent. I'm from New York, where it's like you get the jerks, the Wall Street jerks, and stuff like that. You know, where it's just like, okay, you know, whatever. But these were people on like the bottom floor of the Kentucky Derby, where the dirt is still getting kicked into their face, feeling like they're entitled to certain things around them. Like, oh, I can walk back here because I just can. And you got security guards like at the calmest possible. Like, and when I saw this on video at the Capitol, it literally just reminded me of being in Kentucky. The calmest possible, just literally like, sir, you're not allowed back here. It's like, oh no, I paid to get in or whatever. Yes, sir, you paid to get in on this section. You're not allowed.
That's
That
something we should talk about is just the rampant entitlement that this. I don't know if it's the world. It's not only our country, but it's definitely in our country. It's just the rampant entitlement of just so many people.
But why though? Like, why do you feel like you deserve or are entitled
But you
to
know, man,
things that you
you
clearly
know what,
aren't?
man?
Like,
You know,
they're
man.
not
I
there for
think
a reason.
I think it has something to do with the instant gratification of the society we live in, right? Or like, for instance, I've seen a lot of people, whether it's like a book or a movie or TV show, if they get upset for something or whatever, they'll go, "Well, I'll just illegally stream it. Like, I'm not giving them my money." You know, and it's not hard to do that
It's not.
with these things. It's not hard to find that.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it comes from. It comes from that, and also like fucking Amazon will deliver something in an hour and a half. You know, it comes from everything is instant
Which,
now. I
by the
think
way, I'm
as
still
a
waiting
result,
on the
people think they
Amazon
deserve.
package. Still waiting on.
Are
Yeah,
you?
hell yeah, man. First of all, I was supposed to do the overnight thing, whatever Prime. What is it? 1 day shipping. You know what the hell I'm talking about.
One or 2
Yeah,
days.
it
Yeah, it
was,
depends
and
on.
then it got pushed back. And this is the first time I've ever seen a message from Amazon that says, "Sorry, your package is delayed." And I've
Yeah,
never seen
happens
that before.
sometimes.
And I was saying it's late, and now it's telling me it's supposed to be alive like in another 3 days. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little upset. I'm
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
you
I'm a
should be.
little
No,
I'm
but
entitled
here's
to that.
no. Here's the thing about that, Terrence. There's difference between entitlement and um proper expectations. Okay, if I go to McDonald's, okay, and I order, and on the menu it says, hey, you know, two for five, two Big
Yeah,
Macs, and I go, I want two Big Macs, and they go, no, we're not doing that anymore. And I'm like, well, the sign's right there says it, and they're like, yeah, I know, but it's just not a thing like that. You're not entitled at all. That you're looking at what they're saying and you're saying I want this, and they're saying, well, we don't do that anymore.
expectations.
That is a totally fair. That's a totally fair consumer expectation. Okay, you ordered through 1 2 day shipping. Let's say it was 1 day. Well, if it's past 1 day, you have the right to be upset. Like, not like the end of the world, but you have the right to be like, well, you said it'd be here today and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Totally reasonable. If you order something that says 5 to 7 day shipping and it next day you're like, why isn't it here yet? That is a level of entitlement. That's on you because like that's just not feasible. They only deliver it 5 to 7 days. Like, you have to wait. You know, there's a difference. But the entitlement, yeah, I think it's just it's a lot of the world we live in is instant gratification, man. You know, like we're able to get things so immediate. You know, if you want to rent a movie, you just have to go to Blockbuster. Go to the store, Blockbuster. Fucking if you're listening, you
Oh,
don't know what that is.
R.I.P. Blockbuster.
RIP Blockbuster. But you used to have to go to a store if you want to rent a movie, look through, see if they had it. If they had
Yeah,
it, you had to pay for it right there, bring it back home. You put it in your fucking VCR or DVD player, depending on what is happening. You watched it. You had to rewind it.
rewind
Be kind, rewind. And then you had to go back to the store like the next day or whatever, or they
and
charge you
return
more
it.
and return it. Now, Terrence, you just click a button and you instantly stream. You got it done. You know, so I think there's so much instant gratification, and I don't know, some of it I think is just shit people. You know, I think people need to understand the difference between what you're entitled, like what you're actually entitled to and what you're not. You know, you're not entitled to just do whatever you want in America
What is
because you
it
pay
in America?
taxes.
You're entitled, and you know this better than me. What is it? Life, liberty, and pursuit of
Life,
happiness.
liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
That's
Yes.
what you're
So you're
entitled to.
you're entitled to life, which you are. You're
Mm-hmm.
entitled to be alive. I'm not going to kill you just for existing. Liberty, just freedom. You're entitled to
Mm-hmm.
be free, and obviously that comes with caveats. You can't literally just burn down a building. And the pursuit of happiness. You're allowed to try to become happy.
Right.
Makes perfect sense.
Those are three things. You're not entitled to storm a
You're entitled to just
goddamn federally ran
Dude,
building.
they're going so hard too. The FBI is combing through every little
I love it.
photo and
It's
fucking video
it's
images.
hilarious. I
They're,
love it.
you know what's crazy? So, dude, you know who Michael Phelps is, of
Of
course, right?
World
Okay,
renowned
so
Olympic swimmer.
the most decorated Olympian of all time. One of the dudes that was on his team one year, 3 gold medals, was one of the idiots who stormed the Capitol. You believe that?
No, hold on, wait.
Like what? Like
Was
why?
it
If you're an Olympian, dude, you're a
was it
gold
Ryan
medalist.
Lockley?
3 golds. It wasn't Ryan
It was
Lockley.
Ryan
No.
Lockley?
It was some other dude.
Oh, I was about to
No.
say.
No, that'd have been insane. That would have been, man. I think that guy's lying low forever. But yeah, dude, can you believe that? Like, if you go to the Olympics, you got gold medals. What the fuck are you doing? It's not like you went to a rally. You know, that's whatever. But you specifically went to something that was like intended to be this like attack. What the fuck are you doing?
This just sounds like the South Park thing. You know, they do the thing on South Park. They took our jobs. They took.
I don't know that.
Oh man, yo, like you gotta check it out. South Park I think South Park's been ahead of it, just like The Simpsons, and a lot of things that's going on.
I think when you do a comedy, like especially like an animated one, for so long, like those 2 shows have been doing it. Eventually, you're parodying these things, but then life has just becomes to parody. They're just predicting stuff. Like it's
kind of weird how accurate they are sometimes.
Yeah, it is, man. Let's change because this is a depressing topic. You know what, Terrance? Something you know the Twitter logo, by the way?
Yeah, the little tweet bird, whatever.
The little bird. Do you know the bird has a name?
Yeah, the tweet bird. I just said it.
No. The name is Larry.
What? Is that a real bird or something?
Twitter. No, but I mean, you know, like a mascot. You know, do you know why they named?
Why? This is like such the most random information, but why?
I think if you thought about it, you could figure it out. It's NBA related.
Larry Bird.
That's a real thing. They named the bird Larry after Larry Bird. I mean, come on, man, that's just life.
The thought process behind the joke is like super non-existent. Like,
I mean, to be fair, if you know what like someone figured out a long time ago was on Twitter, KFC, you know, Kentucky Fried Chicken, they're only following 16 people. I think we talked about this one. They're following 16 people, 16 people. Mm-hmm. And the 16 people they're following are the 5 Spice Girls and 11 guys named Herb. Because herbs, if you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, herbs and spices is what they're made of.
16 herbs and spices.
Yeah, I love that stuff, man. I gotta be honest, I love that stuff. Also, Terrance, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I came up with like either I don't know if it's a pickup line. I don't know if it's a joke. Maybe somewhere in between, or maybe.
Okay.
Do you know how?
Okay.
Terrance, do you know how like? All right, so I'll pitch this to you as a joke. I guess I don't know if I don't know how to pitch this properly because it's.
Well, here's the thing. You got to pitch it as if you just walked in. You see this chick, you know, she's everything, you know. Obviously, right, she doesn't sound like me.
I'll do it like a
pickup line. A little bit better.
I'll do it like a pickup line. So so I walk up to a girl, all right, and I'll be like, "Excuse me, are you a pirate?" And she'll say, "A pirate." I'm like,
"No."
There you go, perfect, thank you. No, and then I'll go, "Well, you sure? Because it looks like you're smuggling a lot of booty." Boom. There's something in there we could use. I don't know if like you see a girl walk by and pirate. It's like totally like no one would have any idea what that means, but we know what that means. You know, like it's just like you know like a butterface.
It needs some work.
I mean, listen, I just said I have the material. I said I don't know.
Okay, all right.
I didn't say I have a great job. I'm just saying there's something there. I think it could be used best as just saying a girl who walked by like, oh, she's got a big ass. Like,
I think you need something before the pirate part. I think
if it was a pickup line, you're saying.
Yeah, I think you need a lead in to the pirate.
The pickup line is. I do think though. I like the idea of like, Terrance the pirate. now you know what it means. Like me and you know what I'm talking about, but anyone who heard us would have no idea. Like if a girl heard me say a pirate, she'd have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, are you a pirate? No, I'm not a pirate. Like, why would you ask me if I'm a pirate? I mean, you got to think about it. Are you talking to a chick in New York? Because she's probably going to be rude as hell.
Well,
right?
Listen, any pickup line, this one included, I feel like will get you slapped unless they just think it's funny. Like if I walk up to a girl and went, "I have a great pickup line. Do you want to hear it?" That might work, but
I think that's the lead-in.
Because
that's
they could
the
be
lead-in.
because I think listen, pickup lines are stupid. I don't think anyone says them and means it. And if you do, I think you're a fucking loser. Like these types of pickup lines. Like if you just go up and say like a thing, like unless you have like a specific way you kind of like, not like like a line is what I'm saying. Like if you have
but it's more so a conversation, right? You started. I'm asking because I've never used a pickup line. So
no, neither have I. I think if you went to a girl and were like, "Listen, I made a bet with my friend that this pickup line would never work. You tell me."
Yeah.
I think that's a total conversation starter. It's fine, but I think most women would laugh if you tried an actual pickup line on them. Like it's just the dumbest thing. Like, I do think I made that up, but I swear to God, if you see that somewhere else, ladies and gentlemen, make sure they know I created that joke. But I do think it's funny, like if a girl walks by, you can be like, "Oh, got a little pirate." And then you're like, oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. Like it's like a guy code thing.
This will only work during Halloween when a chick is literally dressed up as a pirate and she's like, "Yeah, I am." And now you got nowhere to go.
No, but no, I don't.
Now you got nowhere to go.
Well, then you're just like, "Oh, okay," and you just walk away. Okay, well, she was a pirate. Anyway. She was in fact a pirate, Terrance. You know what I was thinking about, Terrance? Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever had like a life or death misunderstanding? And what I mean by that, let me give you an example. Okay. So this was like a good 10 plus years ago. I think I was like 19 when this happened.
Yeah.
I was getting ready. I was going to work. I was waiting at the train station. I got a phone call from my sister. Right. I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm like, "I'm going to jump on the train in a minute." Like, everything okay? She was like, "Oh, not really." She's like, we got to talk. This is pretty serious. I was like, "Holy shit, you okay?" She's like, you should probably sit down. Like, are you sitting down? And I was like, what? I was like, "What happened?" Like, I literally was like, "Come on now. Like, what happened?" And she was like, basically,
"No, I can't get a seat."
Yeah, right.
Goddamn train station.
But like, she'd be like serious. Like, "Are you sitting down?" Like, no one's ever actually said this to me. And I was like, what happened? It's like, just tell me what happened. And she was like, "Well, listen." She's like, "Dad, Mom, and my little sister, like, they were in the car, they were driving, and this guy, just kind of crazy guy just walked into the middle of the road, and basically there was like an accident, and with Dad, and he's dead." And there was like a moment where like it was literally one of the few times in my life I had like an out of body experience. Like I saw myself standing there on the phone, and I was like, "Elaine, you tell me my father's dead?" Like dead. I was like, "Is that what you're telling me?" And she's like, No, the guy he hit." I was like, I'm like, "Dad's okay?" She's like, "No, he's fine." And I was like, holy shit, like you gotta really learn to.
It's funny now. It's funny
now. Oh, it's funny now. Then it was like, "Are you telling me like my father's dead?" Like, bro, if you're gonna deliver some kind of news like that, you have to be able to say clearly and concise what's happening. You can't do it the way she did. Like I legitimately thought for like a 3-second period my father is dead. Like that's.
Yikes.
Right? That was like a crazy situation.
Oh, man.
And I wanted to like spike my phone on the ground in anger at her for like saying it in the way she said it. But yeah, dude. Like, has anything that ever happened where like someone
I can't. Hell no.
That no one ever accidentally or not even like someone died, but maybe like bad news. Someone like you thought they were gonna really drop some knowledge on you, and then they were like, "Well, this," and you're like, "Oh."
I mean, no, man. You get the calls, hey, good news, bad news kind of calls or whatever. It's no real big deal, whatever. You're not really paying attention to it. But as far as like to an extent of making me feel like a life is over, no. Well, I mean, besides like, I was a scumbag back in the day, so picking up the phone and thinking that now. Yeah, I'm a reformed scumbag. So answering the phone and thinking that, oh snap, she finally found out that I was cheating on her.
Oh, like those were nervous.
Those are nervous calls. You get the freaking text message that says, "Hey, we need to talk."
Ooh,
It was like,
I've never gotten that text actually. Actually, that's not true.
you never got the "we need to talk" text.
I did get that text once, and it was because she wanted to break up, but it wasn't because anything bad happened. It was just because she.
Yeah, but the "we need to talk" text is never a good text.
No. But it wasn't. When you see, you were like, in your case, it's like she caught me, and with me, I was like, I had nothing wrong. I wasn't think. I just when she
but
said
it was
that,
still wasn't a good text.
No, and when she said that, I knew immediately what it meant. Even though we were totally, the relationship was totally good, but as soon as I got that text, I was like, we're breaking up. That sucks. What the fuck just happened? That was the only time I've ever broken up with a girl where like it came out of fucking left field. Like we were good, and then we broke up. There was no like down period in that relationship. But I do have one other situation where it was similar to the one I just told you about. So this was like probably a year or two later.
You said similar?
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily someone died.
Something's wrong with your family, man.
It is my family.
Something's wrong with your family,
okay,
bro.
so you listen to this story. Okay, so I remember we were working at Toys R Us, and I was at Chipotle on break. I was literally waiting in line to get some Chipotle to go back to work, and my dad called me. At this point, yeah, I think I was like 20 at the time, maybe 19, 20. And so he, they were I'll just say the whole thing. So my dad calls me up. He's like, "Hey, Joseph, like, I got some bad news." I'm laughing bad now, but he said it as dead serious as someone could say those words. He's like, I was like, "What's up?" He was like, "This is the worst thing I could possibly tell you. Honestly, I don't even know." I was like, "Dad, like, what happened? Like, oh my God!" Like, I literally was like, "Mom, like," I was like, "What happened?" He was like, "I'm gonna have to take you off our phone plan. You have to pay for your own phone." I was like, "Dad, fuck!" I literally was like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "Why would you say it like that? You made it seem like..." I was like, I gotta go. I'll call you back later." I was so pissed off at him. Who says it like that?
It's better than me. I just didn't have a phone. I had to figure it out.
But no, this dude, you had a phone back when when we were working at Toys R Us.
Yeah, I'm talking about when my parents decided to just
Yeah, I think the way I got my first phone when I was like 14 was my parents were getting cell phones, and it was like a buy two get one free. Like literally, that was the thing, and so they were like, "We're going to give you a cell phone," and I was like, "Oh, cool."
T-Mobile?
No, it was Verizon. I've had that same number, but I was 14 years old. I said the same number. I'm 30, so
damn,
never changed numbers. Or I still have Verizon. But yeah, like, who the fuck does that? If you have like, who says I have the worst news I could possibly tell you and sounds that distraught? I'm gonna let you pay for your own phone, as if I literally felt like my mother was dead or something. Like, so I was like, my mind.
It might have been the first time he had to make you be a man, and like, but hey, you're gonna take on your own responsibilities now.
But Terrance,
that is handle it.
That is not. I have some of the worst news I could tell you. That's not what that is. That's, hey, listen, kind of, that's a different that type of conversation. You don't say I have some of the worst news I could tell you. You need to pay for your own cell phone. Like, that's not what that means. Come on.
You ever had to deliver bad news to somebody?
Other than like a breakup, like actual news, like I gotta like call.
I mean, I don't know. Like, you ever had to like I know for me, like I've had to fire plenty of people.
Yeah,
I've had to fire plenty of people, and it's not easy conversations to have. Especially, I had this one female. I was about to say chick, but then like some woman told me like it's not nice to say chick anymore.
I disagree. I think chick is informal. It's not.
You can't say chick anymore.
No, I disagree. You
can't do it.
No, chick.
Women have said that they don't want to be called chick anymore.
One woman you're talking about said that. Most women I know call themselves chick. It's informal. I wouldn't say it in a meeting. But like,
and if all it takes is one,
all
it takes is one, and now it's gonna be. Now it's gonna be. You can't call women chicks anymore.
Do you want to know why it's not happening? Because it is way too widespread. Because it's nothing offensive about. Like, it's just like calling a guy a dude. It's just like calling a guy a dude. Like, it's just an
and all it takes is one dude to be like, "Hey, I don't want to be called dude. Don't call me dude."
Prediction.
It's discriminating.
Prediction. It's January 19th. Prediction. When we have the show in 1 year from now, we're still gonna be saying chicks. Chicks is fine. Dudes is fine. They're informal. You shouldn't be saying them. Talking about something proper or something like that. But it's fine. I'm a dude. That's all it is. I'm just a guy. I'm a dude.
He's a dude.
We're all dudes. Hey. But no, I'm not doing that anyway. What were you going to say about this chick in your office that you were ready to
See,
fire?
I'm not calling her a chick.
So
you're
this
calling
chick?
her that.
What did this chick say, Terrance?
This woman that I had this young lady that I had to terminate or whatever. We get to my office and I'm talking to her and I'm just like, hey, like, this is it, like we can no longer have you employed here and blah blah blah. I'm trying to use all the professional jargon, right?
Mm.
And then
did she hold on a second? Did she do something wrong and get fired, or was it like a temporary
no, of course,
thing?
yeah.
Then...
She no. She was on like her third write up
So
or
you got to
whatever.
explain like this is why and everything.
Yeah. And then here's the thing, and here's why I don't know how a lot of guys feel, but I personally no longer will deal with female employees without another female manager or a female employee in the presence.
Mm-hmm. You should always have at least one other person in those situations. Right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a woman, but I would, if you could, make it a woman.
I would make it a woman because I had that interaction with her.
In those situations, you should at least have one other person just so that there's like both of you can verify what happened. If she's like, oh, he propositioned me or something, you could be like, well.
So let me ask you a question, right? Right? If you were firing a girl, right? And then, she's now breaking down in tears and she's like, is there anything I can do to change your mind?
There we go, Terrance. Now we're getting somewhere.
Those are the words that are said, right?
You take her, you lock the door, Terrance. You unbutton. No, I'm kidding. No.
You call a goddamn police.
You whip out your phone and you say, we're going to start recording this just randomly, and then go, what were you saying? No, Terrance. The reality. You should absolutely.
She says.
She really
She said those were her words. I'll never forget this because I
was
remember.
Was it suggestive? Like, did she say it and you kind of knew, or was it? Literally
it was
like, oh my God,
super suggestive. It was super. It was the lean in. It was the lean in. It was you got to read the body language and you got to read what's being said as well. So it's the lean in combined with the body language. With the
she leaned in. Hold on a second. Now we got to describe this in detail. Did she have like a low cut shirt? So she leaned in. She didn't
have a low cut shirt, but she had a button up shirt. Was it a button up shirt?
At any point, did you notice her maybe unbutton one of the top buttons, like while this conversation was going on?
That did not happen.
Was it already unbuttoned? Maybe would you say
that's a little bit too much detail right now because I don't know if this could ever come back to me and this is being recorded.
Who the hell knows? Terrance, no one has any idea where you're even talking about you working or one of the many people you might have fired. There's no details about this girl. I don't even know what color this girl is.
I fired a lot of people in my day.
There's no so she
I'm not proud of it because I hate when people lose their jobs too.
That's true, but you just had to do that was your job. It's not like
my job was to I'm not firing people for fun.
So she suggestively says, "Is there anything I can do?
Is there anything I can do to change your mind?" That's the thing.
That is suggestive.
Your mind, not the situation. Not anything like, is there anything I can do to change your mind?
And she leaned forward and she said this.
And she leans forward.
That is, Terrance, I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't think that actually happened in real life, unless you're talking about like
that's just something that.
Unless you were like an executive of a high company, like you're high up on the thing. I didn't think actually people did that.
I wasn't that high, but I was pretty. What I'm saying
is, if this was,
where I'm talking about.
I know what we're talking about. What I'm saying is, if you were like fucking CFO of a company and there's your executive assistant who's making like $150,000 a year, I could see doing that. But what you're talking about is a low level employee. No, I'm trying to be mean or anything, but a person who's a very entry level job.
Entry level,
an entry level job. Saying this is almost. I mean, it's obviously everyone needs their job, but it is pretty crazy that happened to you.
Oh, yeah. And then at that point, I proceeded to then open the door because the door was closed.
Did you immediately just stand up and do that?
I immediately opened the door and I said, unfortunately,
unfortunately?
I didn't say, I didn't yell it, but I opened the door and I said, unfortunately, this is the last day and, please turn in your ID and whatever the case may be, and that was it. Soon as I heard that, I knew what it was.
Here's another question, Terrance. When you got up and you started walking to the door, Do you think she was like, he's gonna lock the door and I'm gonna have to blow him? Like, do you think
I
she
don't
was
know.
thinking that?
I don't know. I hope not.
I bet she was. I bet she was like, all right, it's time to. She was like,
Time
it's
to
kind of like
save my
it's
job.
kind of like put up or shut up, right? Like she suggested it, and now like you're actually gonna be calling her on it. I bet she thought that while you were getting up. She's probably like, he's gonna lock the door. Holy shit.
I've never, man, I've
I
never,
mean that
because you know that I
it's a
never wanted to
stupid.
be
It's a
caught.
stupid. Yeah, that'd be the stupidest thing you
Yeah, I
could do.
never want to
Like
be
just so you
caught
can
in
get like a
those
blowjob or
situations.
something, like while at work. Like it's the dumbest thing you could do. Like
Never want to be caught in those situations. Never want to have, like my name in papers and stuff like
yeah,
that.
because that's
Like,
serious shit. Dude. If you got caught, you get like real. Like, you get fired, and like I don't know that they can press charges or anything, but like you just never know what could happen in a
you
situation
don't,
like
you
that.
don't
Yeah, you don't want
know.
to put
And
yourself in
then,
that.
I was, like I said, where I'm talking about. So,
Yeah.
and it
I
always
don't
kind
trust
of,
that place to say to
right. Yeah. Like I don't trust the place. I was one of the few black people that held like I think
high
I've
roll.
actually was the only one during
Oh,
those times, like, so that plays a part too, like it's a
yeah.
lot of things that you just kind of be like, you know what,
You just don't want to
I'm
risk
not
anything.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
not about that at all.
as tempting as that does sound, like, especially if she was attractive, like it does sound like that that does sound kind of nice. You don't want to like. First off, I would never do anything like that at a job. If it was like a thing where you could work out, like maybe like later on, like when you're off or something, I can understand it. But even then, it's like I would never really risk that. You
Excuse me,
know,
we cannot handle this now as I'm writing
I would
a
literally be
note.
like,
Like,
we can't. I'd be like, you know what?
I'm just
Unfortunately, we can't. But today, you can continue working today, and then maybe tonight we'll figure out if we can work something out. um, I
oh
feel like a
man,
sleaze bag trying to say, like I could
your
not
ass
feel like
is
a sleaze
fired.
bag. I could not feel like a sleaze bag.
You're fired.
Um, you fucking get the fuck out of the building.
You're
Terrance, last week we said we're gonna dedicate. Oh, actually, to be fair, no one's ever gonna listen to the first episode that we recorded because the audio got fucked up. But just so everyone knows, we dedicated the last episode to Chadwick Boseman, the late
dedication.
great Chadwick Boseman, who passed. So we said we're going to dedicate every episode to a person. Okay,
All right.
I think someone I think you'll agree with that we'll dedicate for this week.
Okay.
I'm going to dedicate it to Indiana Pacers forward Karis LeVert.
Oh
So
yeah.
some background on everyone. So he's not dead. Background for everyone. Karis LeVert drafted
That's
by
a
the
good one.
Brooklyn. So we're all Brooklyn Nets fans, in case you don't know that. Karis LeVert drafted by the Nets, I think in 2016. I want to say maybe 2015. Played for the last 4 seasons with the
2016.
Nets. This is fifth season in the NBA. Played for the last 4.5 seasons with us. Excellent player. He's going to be a fucking all-star. He's an absolute beast. He's had some injuries. It's kept him out, but absolute beast. Unfortunately, we'll talk about that at some point, I'm sure. There's a massive trade that happened last week where we traded away our future and all of our bunch of players for James
Gave
Harden.
up a lot.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. For James Harden, Karis LeVert is one of the guys. He got sent to Houston. Immediately, he got sent back to the Pacers. Now, the reason we're dedicating
Houston
this episode to him,
Rockets, Indiana Pacers.
yeah. So the reason
for the average fan that doesn't really,
just in
pay
case
attention
you're
to sports.
not up to date on this, but the reason we're dedicating this episode to him is because when players get traded, they have to go through a physical just to make sure there's nothing shady going on. Like one team, like someone's maybe injured and didn't reveal something for a trade, which has happened in the past,
or taking performance enhancers.
Yeah, they do a basic physical as long as and there's been people who failed these and fucked up trades. But anyway, everyone was fine. The trade went through. However, Karis LeVert, they found a mass on his liver, I believe, and they don't know what it is. He's currently not playing until they figure it out.
Kidney, not liver.
Was it kidney? Sorry.
It was kidney, yeah.
Yeah, kidney. So prayers up to Karis LeVert. God willing, everything's fine and it's nothing, and he can go right back to playing. But this episode is definitely dedicated to.
Hopefully everything is well, and as someone that kind of went through kidney issues, for a couple of years, it's a bit nerve-wracking, and hopefully it's not the craziest thing. They say they found a mass. It was the same diagnosis.
Right now.
Yeah, it was kind of the same diagnosis with me, and luckily it wasn't anything crazy. It was just like a simple operation, so they say. But any operation is never really a simple operation. So
and they're waiting tests right now to find out what it is. Like I said, prayers up that everything's fine and it's nothing, and then he can just continue playing because he was having a fucking hell of a year. So
yeah, get well soon.
We want him to get back. We want him, exactly, and we'll have him on the podcast one day. Talk about all this.
That'd be dope.
But yeah, so that's who this episode's dedicated to. Terrance,
what you got?
Here's a thing people have been talking about that I want to ask your opinion on. Is watching porn, and obviously masturbating to it, is that a form of cheating?
No. And my favorite actress is Veronica Rodriguez.
I know exactly who that is, sadly enough.
Hey!
I can't believe she's your favorite, but hey, teach his own.
No, how do you say?
Not knocking it.
She get busy, man. Veronica Rodriguez gets busy.
Fair enough.
She's what we like to call a water fountain.
Oh, is that why you like her?
That's why I like her.
Well, that actually does make more. Fair enough. Anyway, so you think no? You think it's totally fine?
No, it can't be. But at the same time,
have you ever had a girl like suggest that to you? Be like a girl you were seeing, be like doesn't want you to watch porn?
No, luckily, every girl I've dated has been okay with it. Like actually, like we've either watched it together or like
I don't like doing that.
Whatever the case may be.
Watching it together, I find that so unnecessary and weird.
Nah, man, have you tried it?
I did, yeah. There's just why? What's the point of it? Like, why not?
Is because she's human too.
Yeah, but what do you need it? I'm not saying she shouldn't watch it on her own, but what are we watching together for? What's that doing?
Because we both enjoy it.
Yeah, but like,
what's the problem? We both enjoy. I'm grown.
Because I don't.
You like this chick. I like her too.
But it's what I'm saying is I just don't see the point of it. Like if you want to have sex, we can just have sex. I don't need like something to put me in the mood. Like she'll put me in the mood. I don't need to watch something with her and then start having sex.
But women are different creatures. They're magical creatures. So it's literally.
Oh, Terrance, I won't call women disrespectful. Women are magical creatures. This fucking guy.
They're magical creatures. So
I'm with you on that.
I wish I could say there's no rhyme or reason. I guess every woman has a specific reason for why they're okay with that.
Everyone's different.
Yeah. I guess like
I guess
some maybe want it for to be in a mood. Some may want it just to be like, hey, like I like watching other girls or whatever. Like,
I guess it's the opposite. Right? There like those are two polar opposites, right? There are some. I don't want to say just women. Obviously, it's people. We're both straight men, so we're talking about women. There are women out there who don't like their boyfriends watching.
I think it's called cis men, cis male.
What is
like straight men? I think it's called cis male now.
God, see, you want to know my biggest problem with Terrance? My biggest problem with all these things, it's confusing. And it's hard to remember.
No. It's really confusing.
Like I have nothing. I genuinely have nothing against anybody, whatever you choose to be. But it's just hard to remember. There's like so many terms.
I think they added something else to the LGBTQ community. I believe they added something.
That's another thing. LGBTQ. Stop adding fucking letters. You don't. Listen. Listen. Coca-Cola.
You can't say that.
Listen. Coca-Cola doesn't change their brand every time they add a new fucking drink. It's just Coca-Cola. LGBT, and that's it. LGBTQ, whatever, and then you can put more that fall under your umbrella. You don't need to change your goddamn logo. So they're changing their company name every year now. Like,
no, it's not a company.
It is a company. It's an organization.
Is it? It's an organization. Yeah, LGBTQ.
Yeah, it's not just like a thing. Yeah, it's not a thing.
No.
It absolutely is. You think it's just LGBTQ? I'm gonna look it up right now on Wikipedia.
It's not a company.
There's a company that like. I can't find
it. I mean it's organizations, like, but that LGBTQ.
So who's deciding that? Who's deciding that, bro? Literally, look.
Okay, so
LGBTQIA+. Who's saying that? Just say You just need
You
one.
miss another cue. So here it
That's
is.
why it's stupid, Terrance. You just need
It's
one, and that
lesbian.
covers it all. You
Wait,
don't need to be
there's
adding letters.
it's lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, transsexual, queer,
Two T's,
questioning,
two
inter,
Q's.
intersex, asexual, ally, and pansexual.
So LGBTQQIA. So you think that's a reasonable thing to say on an average basis?
IAAP.
See, this is what I'm gonna say, Terrence. I agree it should exist, but you should just have like okay, the NAACP, right? That
NAACP.
NAACP, it's what it stands for is totally not even proper anymore. It's been around for so long, but they don't just change the name every year to encompass other people, okay? Because it's the National Advancement, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. We don't even
Yes.
use the term colored people anymore, but they
No,
didn't
we definitely
change it.
don't.
But they didn't change it because we all know what they're for. Like LGBTQ, it should just be like one. We have one form of letters, and that's it. Yes, it can cover everything you just said, but you keep on changing it. Like, who's going to say those like 18 letters you just said? Like, it's just like it's just too much, man.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
It literally on
what I'm
Wikipedia it
saying
says,
is,
literally on
you
Wikipedia,
can't.
longer acronyms with some being over twice as long as LGBT have prompted criticism for their length, and the implication that the acronym refers to a single community is also controversial. Listen, we're not going to go down this rabbit hole. I'm just saying adding in 400 things and having to remember when they change it every year is just annoying. Anyway,
You ever had a situation? Oh no, you probably never had the situation, but one night, me, my girlfriend, and
I got beat up by someone who was
my sister.
LGBTQARQSTWIXZ. No, I
No,
didn't know that.
me, my girlfriend, and my sister were hanging out, and we went to this random bar, right? Got a
Mm-hmm.
drink, and then they had to pee. So women can't go to the bathroom by themselves; they have to go to the
No,
bathroom.
it's like Noah's Ark. They got to go in pairs.
Right. So my sister and my
Minimum.
girlfriend goes into the bathroom. Right. So they go into the bathroom, and then there's a guy in there. There's a
You got to be
guy.
careful with your terminology here, dog.
Okay. Well,
Is it a guy?
Well, I can't even say he identified as male, but
Wait,
he did. He definitely
if
wasn't
he
transsexual.
identifies as a male, then
He
he's
did.
the.
He definitely wasn't transsexual. I'd say that he wasn't trans. Um, he it was a guy in there. It was a guy. It was someone in there that seemed of the male sex, right?
Okay.
And they're in the bathroom, and I catch a glimpse, and they scream. They scream. So obviously, me as the only, I'm with them. I kick open the door or whatever.
You kick open?
I kick
Fucking
open the door,
fucking
and
police
I'm
officer.
looking, and I'm like, yo. So as I say, yo, the security guard comes, and he's like,
kicking in the
excuse me.
women's bathroom. He's gonna
He's like,
throw you
excuse
out.
me or whatever. But he didn't even bother me. He talked to the guy. He was like, hey, you gotta come out of here. Like, it's a women's restroom.
So hold on a second. Okay, maybe fine. Sorry, finish your story. Finish your story. I'll ask questions after you.
So the security guard is like, hey, look, you gotta come out of here. It's a women's restroom. Come out of here, use the male's room. It's like, oh, no, I can use any bathroom I want or whatever. It doesn't matter if it's male or female. I can use any restroom I want. You can't tell me which bathroom to use. And the security guard, he's trying to be cool. He's like, yeah, but the girls seem a little uncomfortable. Can you just go to use the male's bathroom? There's
Does
no one
he
in
say
there.
at any point that he hasn't said what he doesn't say
No,
I'm a man, I'm not.
no, not one time did he say I identify as or anything like that. Not one time did he say that. So in my eyes, I'm looking at it like, okay, I don't know if this dude's a creep. I just don't know. So because I don't know, I have to make sure. So I'm standing there. At this point, I'm letting security do his job. And then security does a job, and he's like, now it's getting a little rowdy. Now it's getting a little rowdy because the guy just doesn't want to leave the bathroom. We don't know if he finished or he started yet. He just don't want to use the bathroom. He don't want to leave it. So we're not, and then my girlfriend, being the bigger person and the beautiful person that she is, goes, hey, it's okay. Let him use the bathroom. It's fine. It doesn't bother us. Let him use the bathroom. Right? and the guy uses the freaking bathroom, Joe. He uses the bathroom with them in there. I was pissed.
So
I was
here's
pissed.
the
I'm not gonna
thing.
lie to you.
Here's the thing about this. This is what now the side of people who believe like we should have separate bathrooms and who don't like the idea of people who maybe born a woman but identify as a man. They don't like the
Co-ed
idea of them
bathrooms are
going in
fine.
because, but people have a problem with this because people are, and I don't agree with this, but people are basically saying like if everyone can identify as either or, then anyone can go in either bathroom. So this
Mm-hmm.
is like their argument is basically what you had to deal with, which I don't say I'm not agreeing with, but but it's confusing. This guy never like
He
he
never
never went, oh, I'm not, I
he
am,
never
I'm a
stated that,
guy, I'm a woman.
and at the same time, it's his right
Was
to
he
state it or
dressed?
not. He
Was he just
doesn't.
dressed like a norm? Was he just like a dude, or was he supposed like just?
He had on jeans and a jacket and a sweater, like
Mm, mm,
regular, and sneakers. Like it was just super regular, beard and everything,
yeah,
super
beard too.
regular. So I
Hmm.
don't know if I can trust this situation. You know what I mean?
Right.
You just never know because one, you're in a freaking West Village in New York City. There's plenty of creeps out here.
Yeah, putting a lot of things up in the village.
Plenty of creeps. So how am I supposed to know which way this could potentially go? Here's my sister and my girlfriend here. I, I want to see them alive. I want them.
Yeah,
I want to.
for
I
sure.
want them unharmed. So like that. That's my thing. My thing was just being protective of the situation, but at the same time, I couldn't see past the, and like I said, my girlfriend being a beautiful person that she is and open minded as she is, said, hey, look, it's okay or whatever. And it had to really talk to me and just like, hey, like, it's not a big deal. And I'm like, I guess it's not a big deal. And honestly, she's absolutely right. It's not a big deal at all. It's
I
more,
mean, it could have been though. Like,
it
is what
could have
you're
been
worried
right.
about.
And,
It
and
could have been
that's,
a big deal. Is what you're
it's
worried about.
right. And I think
Understandable.
when some people make that argument about, having co-ed restrooms or whatever, because I don't care. I honestly don't. I don't care about, co-ed bathrooms at all. I've seen it. I've been in them. It's not a big deal at all.
Yeah, we had a bunch of them when I used to
But
work at
there,
Google, and no one gave a shit about them.
but there are some situations that some people are not as progressive. Some guys are still creeps. Some women are
Hmm.
still creeps.
Yeah,
Like let's not excuse them. Like I could be pissing in the urinal and all of a sudden she's looking over.
yeah,
Yo,
100%.
this is the one space rule.
That's why in my experience with co-ed bathrooms, they don't have urinals. They just have stalls because it's just there's no need to be having people, I think, whip anything out while they're at a urinal. So urinals, to be fair, are kind of demeaning, aren't they?
What? No.
Aren't they? You don't think so? Like, hey, you use this little hole, this little thing in the wall, whip out your dick, and just standing here with no privacy and just pee in it. It's like, totally demeaning.
I don't
Have
know.
you
I don't
have
see
you
it
ever
that
been to
way.
like you ever been to Yankee Stadium?
The old one or the new one?
No, the new one.
Not. I don't think I've been to the new one yet.
So at the new one, I've been to the old one a long time ago, but I went to the new one, and they have basically a trough. So it's basically,
Yeah.
and then here's the, it's in the center of a bathroom. It's massive, and it's basically a circle, and guys can just go and you have like 40 guys lined up there, but like
That's nasty.
there's quite literally no privacy because you can look across and see a guy, like four dudes peeing right in front of you.
It's,
Like it's literally like there's no wall or anything. It's like all of us peeing in this one big circle.
it's nasty.
Like isn't that insane?
That's a little bit too progressive.
That's not even no, that's the opposite of progressive. That is so like the year 1200 when you just literally pee in a trough. Like it's like what are like I understand it's just because people guys want to go
Hey
in there
Joe.
pee and just
Hey
bounce.
Joe. Joe.
What? When?
Every time a guy comes up, there's somebody on the speaker that goes batters up.
No, that didn't. Not that I recall. No, it didn't happen. But it is. I think that was at Yankees. Maybe I was at Shea Stadium or not Shea Stadium, City Field. I don't remember where it was. I can't remember. All I know is it's ridiculous. That's all I know, Terrance.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, back to the topic as we kind of got off it by porn. Is Yeah, so I guess we both kind of agree. I don't think I guess I kind of can understand where people are coming from. Like you're literally like if your girlfriend was like upset with you, let's say, or my girlfriend, I don't have a girlfriend, but let's say she was like, well, you're literally watching other women and you're getting hard and you're beating it to other women. I can understand like that's
Yes,
not
because you are not
cool.
as flexible as her.
Jesus Christ.
That's
That
it.
sounds like a great way to break up with a girl, Terrance. That's great. If anyone's wondering how to get out of a relationship, try that fucking line on for size.
No, I mean it
That's
just
not why I watch porn. I
that's
don't want to
not
watch.
a good
I don't watch
excuse.
porn because a
Like,
woman because they're necessarily better. I watch porn because she's not around.
look, it's entertainment. It's entertainment. It's
I've always
literally
said
in the
it's. I've
name.
always said it's. I've always said it's fantasy though. Like it's not like these women are real women, obviously, but like what you're
We've
watching isn't
never.
like. But these women's bodies are alive, so they do like they work out like a motherfucker and they bleach their assholes and they fucking get all the hair. Like the things they do, they have to do because it's their profession. It's not like it's not what you're gonna
Unless you
encounter
go to
if you
like
meet a
a
random girl,
adult convention at Jacob Javits Center, which happens. I'm sorry,
which is the
not at
same
Jacob
thing
Javits
essentially.
Center.
It's just a
It
porn
it
industry.
happens at Vegas. Unless you go to a convention,
But what I'm
you're never
saying
gonna
is,
meet these
like
women.
I had, but what I said, I had an ex at the time who's like she didn't love the idea of watching porn, but she was like whatever. But she was like, it's just I don't know. These women are like, like women don't look like that, and I'm like, I know. It's like basically a fantasy. Like you're like these women,
Wait, what
like
does she mean?
the
Women
average
doesn't
woman.
look like that? What does that mean?
Well, they don't like your average woman doesn't work out and keep her body like in absurd shape because it's not her like they have normal lives. They go to work every day. They can like if you're a porn star, your whole job is to make sure your
Looks good for
body
the camera.
looks
Yeah.
A plus. One because that's your whole entire life is based off of your body. So, but your average woman like goes to work
Except
5 days
when
a
your
week, doesn't have
lips are hanging,
necessarily do
I
that.
cannot watch those. I
You can't
can't
watch
watch
what?
when if the lips are hanging.
What are you talking
If
about
the
right now?
lips are hanging.
What? Terrance, what are you? I don't even.
If the
What are you
pussy
talking
lips
about?
are
Like
hanging
what?
outside, I can't watch those. So that you can't keep in shape.
In hanging out inside what? Like in a workout
No.
gear?
Like literally,
Just in
yeah. Like
general,
outside of there's the outer and the inner. If the inners are hanging out,
I guess.
no, I can't watch those.
You can't watch
Yeah.
porn. What a bizarre, random time to say
It's
that.
literally
Like in
you
the middle
literally
of.
said like it's they're not normal, but half of them don't keep
No, but what I'm saying is What I'm
themselves
saying
like
is,
up to par when it comes to that.
well, it depends on what porn you're watching, I guess. Like if you're watching like a professional who's literally does this for a living, like not like necessarily amateur stuff. I mean, if you're amateur, amateur. But if you're watching like professional shit, like fucking browsers or whatever it is, if you're watching like professional shit like that, but also it's even like they'll bleach their goddamn asshole and they'll like shave every inch of their body. Like that's not really what your average woman does. Like they don't. That's just not necessarily the same thing because that's not what their lives are.
And I mean, but they're women are really doing an amazing job taking care of themselves.
Oh, they are. No, no. What I'm
Like
saying is she's
average
not
women
wrong.
is what I'm saying.
No, I agree. But I agree with you and with my ex. Like, you're right. The average human isn't like a normal porn star. Even guys, like we don't have our entire lives to focus on making our bodies look great and having massive dicks and everything. It's like, well, we have normal lives to deal with, whereas porn stars don't. They just focus on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And so it's completely it is a bit of a fantasy. Like I think it's very much a fantasy. Not that you can't find beautiful, unbelievably gorgeous women, because I have, we all have, but it is a bit unrealistic. Like most women don't have a bleached asshole. Like I'm just
I
gonna
do have
call it
to
like I see
ask
it,
about
Terrance.
that. Like I feel like I gotta ask about that. Like I would what's the point of that?
Because otherwise it looks gross. It's an asshole. It's just
Oh, you
brown
mean normal? Otherwise it
because
looks
shit comes
normal?
out of it. No,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
don't
that's what I'm
bleach it,
saying.
then it's
If you don't
just
bleach it, otherwise it looks
yeah.
normal.
Well, yeah, but I think if you're on camera, well, I don't know. Whoever started this trend, I guess, the first people to be appearing in porn, I guess, they started doing this, and then it became a standard. You can't. Then at that point, you
Maybe
have to.
freaking
Otherwise, Otherwise, your asshole is just stained with shit.
what's
It's
her
just
name?
brown. And
Nicole Smith? What's the Anna
Anna
Nicole
Nicole
Smith?
Smith.
Probably
What
her.
about her? She wasn't. Was she even a porn star? I think she was like an escort who married that rich dude
Yeah.
and he died
Who was the
immediately.
one that had the and you probably remember the stripperella uh
That was Pam
Terrance
Anderson. I
Anderson?
mean, everyone knows Pam
Yeah.
Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, but she wasn't a porn star. I mean, she was the first person to have a sex tape, but not intentionally. But she wasn't a porn star. She was in
What? She wasn't
Baywatch.
a porn star?
No, she made that she made that sex tape with Tommy Lee, and that was like the first one that ever like a sex tape that got released. That was before Kim
Yeah, I know.
Kardashian and everything. That was the first
Huh.
one.
This
Yeah, but that she wasn't a porn star. She was
uh,
from Baywatch. She was just hot and had massive fake
literally this
tits.
whole time I thought that was her job. I
Jesus,
don't know.
I think she looks pretty hit these days. I'll be honest, but she's also
Oh,
like in her
she's
mid
still
fifties.
alive?
Yeah, man. And Nicole Smith, if you're thinking of
Oh,
her,
that's
she's dead.
okay. Yeah, I don't
But
know why I'm confusing these two.
you're mixing up your blonde bimbos of the '90s and 2000s. um, yeah, no, she's not a porn star. You know what I genuinely wonder about a lot of these women and dudes in porn, especially women, because it's you have a shorter career. What is the goal, especially if you're not like a mega star? Like there's so many women out there who have like OnlyFans, and just smaller, and they make good money. But what's the long
I
term
mean,
plan?
it got to be like stripping, right? Which is let's save up as much money as
That's
possible
also
and
not.
then get out.
But like, what happens when you're in your mid 40s, 50s? Like, you can listen if you work out like crazy and you really watch your diet and everything. You could obviously be super gorgeous into your even like 40s and 50s. But like, eventually, and also, but part of the problem is always someone newer and hotter, right? So even once you're like 40, there's always gonna be some another 20-year-old popping up who's insanely gorgeous. So it's like I don't know. I do wonder, like, not like if like I said, if you're a mega star or like some of these porn stars, like Lisa Ann, obviously everyone knows who like Lisa Ann is.
No, who's that?
But I forget. I'm not gonna go into it. But the point is that like I do wonder what their long term goals are because like a lot of places won't hire you if that's what
What
you
do you want
used
to
to
be
do
a
for a living. Like the
freaking
companies,
a porn psychiatrist? Like, what are you trying to find out? Their end game?
I'm thinking logically, Terrence. Like what happens to a woman who's been
Basically,
doing different types of pornography when she's 45 years old and
they
her body
had
doesn't
they
look
had a
right, so no
ton
one
of
wants to
daddy
look at her.
issues, and then they
So they
met
die.
some guy and he was like, "Hey, let me film you." So they filmed him, and then over something. Actually, there's a really good documentary on
You're
Netflix
not
about that.
you're not listening to me at all. I didn't say how do they get into porn.
No,
I said
yeah,
what's their goal?
I'm
Like what
going
do
through
you
the
do
cycle. There
after
is
you're
no
no
goal.
longer?
There is no goal.
It's not about a goal, Terrence.
There's no end
Okay, so
game.
when you're 45 and no one wants to watch you, how are you paying for your bills?
I don't know. Watch the document. There's a
That's what I'm
documentary on
asking.
Netflix literally about this.
Right, I know, but the difference is like we've had porn for a long, long time, but now in the last like 10 years, probably there's probably
Yeah,
millions of women
it
who
blew
make
up.
their money that way, and they're not, and again, they're not like massively famous. Like if you're famous or if you big like there's some Disney actress who just has an OnlyFans
Yo,
now and
the
she does
AT and
porn.
T girl,
Like
Lily from AT&T. She
she doesn't
does.
do porn.
I will sing. I will sing
I'm
you the
sure
link.
that's not true.
I promise you, she does. I will sing you the link.
I would
I
watch
will
that because
sing you
she's
the link.
gorgeous.
She does.
Okay, we'll talk about that after the show, after we go off the air. Because we'll talk about that. But I guess my real question is like, yeah, like regardless if you're a guy or a woman, I guess don't you think like, well, what am I going to do for money
Yeah,
at a
you
certain
don't make
point?
a lot from it. The average is like
You know,
150 to
you don't,
200 a
and you could.
shoot.
I think but you know what
Yeah, of
OnlyFans
course.
is. So people are making good. There's this random chick I stumbled into in on Twitter, and she's a vegan is how I stumbled into her. And she's basically saying, I remember I saw her tweet where she was like, she does like OnlyFans and stuff like that. She's not like a professional. She lives a normal life, but she
Did you
uses like
subscribe?
OnlyFans and you know, she, no, I would never subscribe to anyone on OnlyFans. That's the dumbest thing in the world. Um, no offense if you do that, but
No,
I
good
would
for
never.
you.
For me,
This is
it's
like
just
why I
not my
pay
style.
for it.
Yeah, if you found someone that you like and you're
Yeah,
paying, then pay for what you want. You're
yeah.
succeeding. You're
I'm
helping
not.
her out. Anyway, what I'm saying is, this girl is like on Twitter. She has like 50, 60,000 followers. Right, nothing. I mean, good, but not like 10
Yeah,
million
yeah.
like some people have. Right. Um, she says that she went to college and she got a degree in nutrition. And she was like, well, one of her tweets was like, I could go and become a nutritionist and make like 50, 60K a year, but she's like, I'm basically making twice that on OnlyFans. Now, this is some random girl, like I said. She's not, 50,000 people on Twitter. I don't know how many OnlyFans she has, but she's saying 100K
Yeah, but
a
see,
year.
what makes me mad about OnlyFans is
That's good
amazing
money,
good money,
bro.
but what makes me mad about OnlyFans is that I'm pretty sure the creators of OnlyFans did not mean for it to be this.
I don't know what they meant, but I think they probably are. Dude, OnlyFans is actually massive. I think they only take a percentage of what you make, but I'm sure they're
Yeah,
doing
but I'm
just
pretty sure
fine,
when they
considering.
created it, they meant for it to be
Yeah.
for OnlyFans
But
of a
technically,
creator.
if me and you created an idea, like a website or something, and it was intended for one thing, but it blew up into a porn thing, but like we were making tons of money, I mean, wouldn't you just go, well, I guess all right, guess we're rocking with it.
Uh, like yeah, if we're like filming like other people or something,
No,
like
I'm saying we created the website, and people then, like, let's say we create OnlyFans. It was
oh, if we
intended
create,
for
oh, okay, if we
creators.
created like something like OnlyFans.
What? Yeah,
Oh, okay, got you. And it,
let's say me and you create OnlyFans, and it was intended to be like, hey, if you really want access to like these creators, these basketball players, these actors,
yeah,
whatever it is, you can use this. But then next thing you know, it's now a porn thing. But we're making, I'm sure,
let it ride,
millions of dollars.
let it
Would you
ride.
go? Yeah, exactly.
Gotta
Okay,
let it ride.
exactly, exactly. What I'm saying, you were bringing it up. You were like, I'm sure they didn't intend it. I'm like, yeah, but I'm sure they're just fine dealing with
They're,
it.
they're making the good money, but at the same time, people like, let's say like there's an artist who legit like paints, right, and makes like beautiful paintings and wants to put their stuff up on OnlyFans. It now has like a little tarnish to the name because
Well, I think now there is no. I think only people on OnlyFans are porn, essentially. I don't think anyone is going to go on, even if it's totally on the up and up. We all know what OnlyFans is known for now. So I think, no random person is going to go on there and be like, well, I'm a painter. Like that's what
yeah.
Patreon's for now.
Shout out to Patreon. Patreon is really cool.
Now, and I don't think you can do anything like that on Patreon. You can do like I don't think you can do like nudity or anything like that. You can do like lewd photos, but you can't do like, here's a picture of me
You gotta
getting
do
banged
like
out.
classy, sexy stuff.
What I'm saying is that there is this girl I follow who does like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of cosplay. Well, I don't follow anymore. I don't follow Twitter anymore. But there's a girl who has a phone. She's like super cool girl, and she's hot. And so she does a lot of like hot cosplay, and like I think she has a Patreon, and she'll be like, oh, like she has a calendar, like she'll send you. But
That's
again, it's not
dope.
like
That's
nude. It's
dope.
just her like super scantily clad. But again, it's mostly like like cosplay stuff, or just her looking amazing in like a bathing suit. But it's not. I think
Yeah.
Patreon. Anyway, it's not important. But yeah, I guess neither one of us really looks at porn as
No,
cheating.
you gotta ask somebody else's significant other about that because it
Have
just doesn't make sense.
you have you had a girlfriend? And you don't have to obviously say anyone's name. I prefer you don't. Have you ever had a girlfriend who watches porn? And she's
Yes.
told you, I watch porn, and you
Yeah.
totally don't
I've
care.
had two that literally told me that. Yeah. 100%.
What kind of
Well,
porn were they
one was
watching though? Do you know?
into what is it? Hatashi? It's the
No idea. What
anime
is it?
stuff. Tai?
Hentai. You're
Yeah.
thinking hentai? I believe is. I
Okay.
believe
Yeah.
hentai is anime porn,
I don't know.
which I don't understand. But again, I don't understand a lot of
One
porn. I'm
was
kind of a
into
total
that.
boring
The
motherfucker when it comes
other
to
was
porn.
just, freak, whatever.
Oh man, Terrance, because I know you, I think I probably know
Nah,
who
we
you're
don't
into
gotta go
that, but
into
we don't
that.
have to go into details. That's way too personal. Yeah, I've had a couple actually. I think I had two as well who were into porn. And I was like,
Yeah,
all right, like
it doesn't
what does it
bother me.
matter?
It's your thing, like I think people that you can't frown
Yeah,
upon
that's
it.
what you do, and like that's what you do. That's what you do in your most personal time. It doesn't like.
Yeah, like I
Why
don't
do
give
I
a
care?
damn. You know, who cares? That's about that.
Some people, man. I don't know if you think is it a possessive thing? Like some people are just really
Yeah, but
possessive
you know
over
what
their
it is? I
partners.
think I've gotten lucky because I've never had a girl that watched the ones that had guys in it. They own
I do you only watch Girl Girl?
Joe.
Yeah,
Yo, yo, you cut out.
still there.
Yeah, I hear you.
You can hear me?
Well,
Yeah.
you cut out for a second.
I'm sorry. We'll pick it right back up. So you've only had women who
That's it.
watch Girl. I mean, I don't think I did. In fact, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
and
So, but you know what I've never had, because it's not uncommon for guys to watch like just girl, right? I've never met a woman who would watch two guys. That's just not a thing. It doesn't work the other way around, does it?
I guess not. I don't think so.
I've never met a woman who's like, oh yeah, I watch just two guys going at it.
Nah, she might be into some other stuff with that. That might be. That might. I think
if she's into that, you think she's into other stuff?
I think she's into other stuff. I think she might be down for the train.
Just saying.
That sounds a bit crazy.
All right, guy. I'm just saying. I mean,
yeah, to each his own, right? Whatever floats your boat. You know, if it works for you, I love it. Mm-hmm. That's it. I could care less.
All right, Terrance, let's wrap this show up. This is a good show, I think. We do need to do an NBA podcast.
We have a lot to talk about
that we didn't get thought We really should do 2 shows a week. This one and then like an NBA show. If you're interested, ladies and gentlemen, the Gray Area Podcast at gmail.com. Write in. Tell us what you want.
I mean, I'd be down for it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, Terrance, you're supposed to, before we go, do you want to play us out?
Let me see what I got. What do I have for us today?
Some sweet jazz or something. There it is.
Well, like a minute of this ride.
Yes, we have to do two outros technically, so we just do this and then cut it and finish it up.
Listen to that saxophone. This FKJ. This guy's amazing, man. This guy's amazing. FKJ.
FKJ. I like the initial. I like that. So what is this considered?
I mean,
kind of
it's
jazz?
like
straight up?
hip. It's like hip hop jazz instrumental. So it's really dope. It's really dope. You know. More people should definitely get into it for sure.
Well, now that they got the Gray Area bump,
I mean, he has 13 million views, so he needs our help. He needs our help, you know?
He definitely needs our help. I mean, that's it. 13 million? Joke. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back next week. Maybe we'll be back sooner than that.
All right. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that.
Good night.